Basie reports in a powerful hit, an iconic weapon with infamous lethality. One shot, one kill.
Oh, baby, a triple! Oh, yeah.
Hi. Six Snipes here, finally doing the thing my whole channel is named for, and coming back to finish the Season 4 series on sniper rifles.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
Pack your ghillie suit and buy the DLC camo, because if you get Ministry, you're not going to have a good time. Today, taking a look at the M24, I'm Six Snipes, and you're watching Gun Guide. The M24 Special Weapons System, or else the military-grade model of the classic Remington 700, is more or less the spitting image of whatever comes into your head if you were to close your eyes and I said the words, a sniper rifle. For good reason too, it has earned its reputation as a stellar marksman tool and invaluable asset in countless operations around the world in virtually every environment imaginable. Similarly, in the game, I find it, being one of the two bolt-action models, to be the definition of reliability. Chambered in 7.62 by 5.1 NATO AP round, this is basically the 308 like the Scar, but spicier. For anyone wondering, the primary difference between guns such as this and, say, the M14 EBR is rather simple. A hit from this is very deadly.
So basically, what I was thinking of was, oh fuck, I can't believe you've done this.
In contrast, anything but the most direct hits from guns such as the EBR feel more like a coin toss. Maybe they die, but maybe you just wing your opponent and they run along, albeit significantly more wounded. This becomes more and more apparent as the range grows. In stark contrast, I would be hard-pressed to find you a clip where this gun doesn't just kill what you pointed at, though it does happen in every blue moon.
You have a lot of nerve being alive.
Point is, with any sense of game awareness and a little aim training with the optic of your choice, you have the package capable of killing on most any hit in the vast majority of scenarios. Even blowing out their kneecaps seems to do more than enough to send them home in a mahogany box. Speaking of optics, much like just about every other marksman gun, the scope very much makes the rifle. The formerly preferable 7x optic has experienced a price reduction from 3 to a healthy 2 equipment credits, meaning that 3 points total awards to a highly functional and long-range killing machine.
It's a simple spell, but quite unbreakable.
Meanwhile, spend a little more on the 3 to 6 time variables, or else the high echelon 4x optics with secondary holographics, and you've got a weapon prepared to take them just about wherever they come. I myself tend to like to keep my optics on the cheaper to mid-tier end and afford the absolute necessity that is the greased bolt. More or less, this brings your somewhat low 55 rounds per minute all the way up to exactly way more. This means that the spacing between rounds and ultimately the time the buddy of the guy you just shot has to find you is dramatically decreased, to the point that as you have the second or third mark in your crosshairs, you're already ready to go. In terms of gameplay, the bad news is that in comparison to the more popular high fire rate rifles, which are built off a gas system resulting in semi or even full auto fire, this is still much slower.
I'm fast. I'm so fast.
The good news is that it's totally okay, seeing as being the literal cheapest gun in the game and an utter fraction of the cost of all these other implements. I don't think you gotta worry about that, Chief. The extra money you're able to spend on optics and gadgets is easily enough to compensate for the fire rate, and honestly, I never found myself in a scenario where I needed to have something which didn't require operating a bolt. After all, if they have time to pick you out and send one in between your shots, are you really even a sniper? My preferred build would be a very default variable optic. I prefer the Insurgent 3 to 6 times magnification red ring with the way sharper reticle when it's available. However, the security T model is very doable as well. That plus greased bolt for speed, bipod for stability, and a flash hider or even a suppressor to mask your flash and bang as well as possible, because when you've killed anyone enough times, they know where you are, they will come and find you.
I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
Okay. And for that exact reason, the next two things I recommend are subjective, but in my opinion are almost, if not equally as important as your own primary gun. 1. A ghillie suit, the one which came with Nightfall or else the Sasquatch model from Cold Blood are both perfectly apt for the scenario. Mix them with the hunter skin on the rifle and you're invisible to even some of the closest enemies. 2. Because being covered in grass and leaves isn't going to help you when you're standing next to the kitchen sink. Urban environments means there's no point in hiding from your hunters. Pack a Glock. Really, any high-priced handgun is well worth the money because the ability to waste several hostiles with something that doesn't take a pause between every bullet can be invaluable. Any of the Wonder 9s will do, however, I have to give it to the Glock because with that 30+1 extended round mag capacity, you're basically using an MP5 stuck to semi and more than capable of carrying you through capping an objective in a cinch. Your strategy here, however, is going to be built around the idea that the M24 is by no means an offensive weapon. Any firefight, especially with other marksmen using higher tier snipers, is going to end very quickly unless you aim better or straight up outplay them. A good engagement distance puts you well within their line of sight for shooting, but far enough away to make finding you a chore. In the event that you whiff a shot, they'll have to work to find you or attempt to flee. Either way, a sniper with talents is capable of holding down vast portions of entire maps, either chasing enemies away or just killing them. I found that even this, the cheapest gun, was perfectly capable of turning around squads of 4 or 5 guys from pushing across streets and alleyways. In fact, on Domination, I managed to just sit in the grass on top of the very hill where we spawned, so well camouflaged that I wasn't even shot at for a whole game and scored so many kills on people otherwise in prime positions to flank and do damage to my own team. This gun is the physical embodiment of good old-fashioned counterterrorism Overwatch, and it's very functional in many scenarios. It's obviously far more useful on the wider maps, the real groaners like Hillside, Crossing, and Tideway, where the thick brush, cluttered debris, and tall reeds do such an effective job at masking you that often players don't even know when they're right on top of you. No amount of cheesing the death cam pointing you straight to the location of your killer is going to help someone find you, because if you die and the camera just sort of pans over to nowhere, good luck. Staying in a prone position and with a powerful suppressed gun lets you rack an insane amount of kills without anyone having any clue where you are. Throw in some switching angles and positioning, and you can easily go without deaths for minutes on end, if not matches. Even on the shorter and no-range maps, such as Tell, I was able to have a very doable build with lower magnification optics all the way down to the barely qualifying as a scope PKAS, which was very helpful at closer ranges. But ultimately, bear in mind that without a lot of skill, much of which I haven't myself acquired, using implements such as this on the tighter maps is very limited in success, so keep in mind, when in doubt or toil, just go with M240B because it shoots the exact same round but it has 100 of them. What is going on? That's just about all I have to say about the M24. It's very stellar as a sniper and more than enough to assert your dominance over ridiculous ranges. Next time, I'll be going over the nuanced differences of the Mosin, the insurgent equivalent, and my favorite of the two for a couple big reasons. That doesn't mean this isn't a defensible pick, but you'll see how it holds up in comparison. But until then, I'm Six Snipes. This is the eagle-eyed M24, and you've been watching Gun Guide. I'll see you out there in Sandstorm. You just may not see me.